We would just like to let you know that this act is not refundable time or money-wise.
Northwestern is not responsible for any neck or back injuries caused by having to look up at our next performer.
If this act does not make you laugh, you may want to go see a psychologist to see if you still have a sense of humor.
Performing stand-up way up.
6'3" to be exact.
We have Luke Macy!
Hello, my name is Luke Macy. I figured I'd perform some stand-up for you all tonight since I've pretty much mastered sitting down. The first thing most people notice about me, as you may have noticed, is that I'm pretty tall. And some people think it's great, but there's a lot of downsides to being tall. For instance, I constantly hit my head on doorways to the point where it seems like they're shrinking just to hit me. Buying clothes are a nightmare, especially pants. They're always either too short or too loose. You probably can't tell because they're so short, but I'm actually wearing pants right now. I risked hypothermia just for that joke. But the worst part is constantly hearing the question, do you play basketball? Believe it or not, I did, back in middle school. I was the Michael Jordan of my team, back during his baseball career. Both my parents coached the team, and there was one game I vividly remember. Everyone was scrambling to get the ball, and somehow I managed to get it. I ran to the other side of the court like a madman. I probably should have noticed I was running to the wrong side of the court when none of my opponents tried to stop me. But nothing could stop absent-minded 10-year-old me. So there I was, no opponents. I go to shoot the ball. I miss. It gets worse. I get the ball again, and I shoot again. I miss again. I'm not sure if my mom and dad were more disappointed as parents or coaches. I decided to go as something scary for Halloween this year, a dentist. No offense, but who goes to school for 8 years so they can spend their days shoving their hands in random people's mouths? I never know what to do when they ask me a question, like, you're stabbing me with your tools, how am I supposed to respond? And don't get me started on orthodontists either. When you say what they do out loud, it literally sounds like something from a horror movie. They strap metal to your teeth. I think orthodontists should just start off by saying, hey, would you rather feel self-conscious about your crooked teeth? Or would you rather feel self-conscious about the metal we're about to strap in your mouth? But that's enough making fun of dentists. Let's get back to making fun of me. I love my name and all, but there are sometimes I really hate it. For instance, iPhones constantly autocorrect my name to Luke, or to Look. See, it's even hard to get right, and it's my own name. They sound very similar. Sometimes people will say, look over here, and I'll walk over like an idiot, thinking they said Luke over here. The worst part, though, is constantly hearing people tell me they're your father, like, Luke, I am your father. It's not even the right quote. He says, no, I am your father. Technology is really crazy these days. iPhones can now recognize people based on their faces alone. I can't even do that. I can go a whole conversation with someone I've known my whole life without realizing who they are, which is pretty embarrassing considering I know all the lyrics to Let It Go. I've recently been getting into a lot of putt-putt, but I keep overshooting the holes. It just makes me think I wasted all my money on those expensive drivers. I also watch a lot of movies in my spare time. I was going through the reviews for this one movie, and it said 0 out of 10, movie lacked emotion. And which sounds pretty normal for an artsy flick, but the movie was Dumb and Dumber. I don't know what that person expected, but the title should have given away that it was not an emotional movie. Speaking of things that are dumb, who decided to put Braille on drive-up ATMs? Last I checked, blind people were not allowed to drive. Has this changed? Because if so, I think I'll stick with walking. To be fair though, some people do drive like they are blind. So, if you ever feel useless, at least you're not Braille on a drive-up ATM machine. Thank you. Have a great night.